Let's talk about something that pretty much every parent struggles with, trying to get your kid to focus. It can feel like a constant uphill battle, right? But what if the solution isn't really about them, but about us? Let's dive into that.
I mean, does this question even need to be asked? It probably hits a little too close to home for a lot of us. We're always hearing that our kids are distracted, that their attention spans are shrinking. But what if we've been looking at the problem all wrong? Let's explore that.
So, first things first, what are we actually aiming for? Before we can fix a child's concentration, we need to know what good concentration even looks like. There's a really powerful way to think about it. Imagine a focused mind is like a steadied lamp.
Just picture that for a second. A lamp flame, totally still, burning brightly in a room with no wind. It's calm, it's consistent, it's unwavering. That's the goal for a kid's mind during study time. But if that room is full of wind, distractions, noise, interruptions, what happens? The flame flickers, it struggles, it might even go out. So the first step seems obvious. Create a calm, windless space.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because we tend to think the wind is stuff like video games, or toys, or the TV in the other room. And yeah, sure, those things are part of it, but there's a much, much bigger source of that wind that we often don't even see.
It turns out the single biggest influence on a child's ability to concentrate isn't a toy or a screen, it's us. It's the example we set as the adults in their lives.
It really just boils down to this simple, powerful truth that we all kind of know but maybe forget sometimes. Our actions speak way, way louder than our words. We can lecture a child about focusing all day long, but if our own attention is constantly divided, well, that's the real lesson they're soaking up. Let's look at a super common example. A mom tells her child, "Okay, homework time, put everything away and concentrate." But then, a little while later, the child sees her in the kitchen, trying to cook dinner while also scrolling through her phone. The unspoken message there? Splitting your attention is normal. It's what adults do. And the child internalizes that action, not the words.
Or how about the dad at the dinner table? He might be telling his kid how important it is to be present and focused, but while he's saying it, he's also checking work emails on his phone or taking a quick call. The child sees this, right? They see a total contradiction, and what they see becomes their reality.
And this isn't just a thing at home. Imagine a teacher who tells the class to pay attention, but then glances at their own phone while the students are supposed to be working. It sends a really powerful message, doesn't it? It says, this lesson isn't actually worthy of my full, undivided attention. If the guide isn't focused, how on earth can we expect the student to be? And that's the absolute heart of it. Before we can be their guides, we have to be their role models. If we want to teach them how to concentrate, we have to actually live it, in our work, in our chores, and especially in the time we spend with them. Okay, so let's say we're working on our own focused behavior. Now what? How do we give our kids some actual tools they can use for themselves? Let's shift gears and look at some practical techniques they can start learning right away. This brings us to a really brilliant and frankly kid-friendly idea, the turtle principle. The goal isn't to fight off every distraction with all their might. It's simpler. It's about withdrawing from them. So when a random thought about a video game or what their friend said pops into their head, they can just imagine being a turtle, pulling their head and legs back into their shell of focus. And it breaks down into 3 super simple steps. First, just notice that your mind has wandered. That's it. No need to get upset about it. Second, picture that turtle and actively withdraw your attention back inside. And third, just gently bring your focus back to your homework. It's like a mental muscle, and every single time they do this, that muscle gets a little bit stronger. But we can't expect a kid to stay in their turtle shell for hours at a time. That's just not realistic. So what's a good place to start? The key is to start small and build up that focus stamina. A 20-minute block of time is a perfect, totally manageable starting point. The goal is 20 minutes of pure turtle-like focus. And then, this part is just as important, they take a real 10-minute break. This isn't about some grueling marathon, it's more like interval training for the brain. And over time, as that concentration muscle gets stronger, that 20 minutes can become 25, then 30, and so on. So when you pull all these ideas together, it becomes pretty clear. This isn't just about a child's individual willpower. Improving concentration, it turns out, really is a team sport.
And here's how all the pieces connect so perfectly. Parents set the stage by modeling focus in their everyday lives. Teachers reinforce it by being fully present in the classroom. And then, inside that supportive, focused environment, kids can actually succeed at practicing their own techniques, like the turtle principle. See? Each role is different, but they all depend on each other.
Because in the end, we're not just teaching a skill, we're building a culture. A culture in our homes and in our schools where doing one thing at a time is valued, where being present is the norm, and where focus is a shared goal for everyone. Now that is the steady, windless environment where a child's mind can really shine.
So that brings us right back to the beginning and to the final, most important question. This isn't about finding some new app or a magic technique for your kid. It really starts with you. When your child looks at you, what do they see? A steady lamp or a flickering flame? The choice is ours to make.